What's the most important tool in an auto repair shop? If you ask most people, they'd probably say a wrench, maybe a ratchet, or even a scan tool. And while all of those are important, after more than 35 years in this industry, the tool I reach for more than almost anything else is actually this flashlight, especially at my age. Now that might sound a little crazy until you see how often I use it. Whether I'm inspecting an engine bay, working under a dashboard, checking for fluid leaks, maybe performing UV dye diagnostics, or just showing a customer exactly where a problem is, this little light here is constantly in my hand. I've been using these Olight products for years because they solve problems other lights don't. It's compact enough to carry every day, it's powerful enough to be useful, and it combines features I use all the time. A UV light for leak detection, a laser pointer for customer communication, and a magnetic rechargeable battery that just works. Now I've tried other rechargeable lights from other brands, and while some of them are really great, they're just too bulky to carry in my pocket all day long. So when Olight reached out and asked if I'd take a look at their newest models of this version, I was genuinely interested because I already use their products every single day. Today I'm going to show you why this little flashlight here has earned a permanent place in my pocket, compared to the ones I've been carrying for years, and then we'll see whether these new versions are actually an improvement over an everyday tool I already trust. Before we get into these new lights behind me, I should probably tell you how I ended up using the Olight products in the first place. Now my first Olight wasn't this arc field, it was actually one of these weapon-mounted lights. I like the brightness, the battery, the life, and especially the magnetic charging system. And I know I could leave it on a firearm in the safe for a long period of time, and I know it would be ready for me when I needed it. Not to mention I could charge it right in the safe without disconnecting it. So that experience made me pay attention when I started looking for a better everyday carry flashlight for the shop. And that's when I found this arc field. After carrying it for years, I can honestly say it's one of the most useful tools I've ever put in my pocket. What sold me wasn't just the brightness, it was the combination of features that are packed into a light that's small enough and comfortable enough to carry all day long. As a professional technician, I use UV dye regularly to locate engine oil leaks, coolant leaks, transmission leaks, and AC system leaks. And having a UV light built directly into my everyday flashlight means I don't have to carry a separate UV light or go hunting for one when I need it. The laser pointer on here is another feature I use constantly. Whether I'm training an employee, pointing out a component during a diagnosis, or just explaining a repair to a customer, being able to point directly at that exact area I'm discussing makes the communication much easier. Once I started carrying this light every day, it became quickly one of my favorite tools and one I didn't want to be without. Now to be fair, I've used a lot of different lights over the years. I've owned large rechargeable lights, stream lights, Milwaukee M12 lights, the flex head work lights, dedicated UV lights, pen lights, and just about every other style of flashlight you can possibly imagine. And honestly, many of them are really excellent tools. The problem isn't that they don't work. The problem really is that most of them are just too big, too bulky, or too specialized to carry with you all day long. For example, my larger rechargeable lights are great when I'm working under a vehicle and need to light up a large area. My Milwaukee lights are incredibly useful for certain jobs because I can just swap batteries when they go bad. I have a rechargeable Matco flex head magnetic light that works fantastic for inspections and hands-free lighting. And I also have dedicated UV lights that work well for leak detection. But every one of those tools eventually ends up back in a toolbox, on a cart, or on a workbench, because they're simply too large to carry around all day. So that's where this arc field really separates itself. It's not necessarily the brightest light I own, it's not the biggest light I own, it's not even the best UV light I own, but it's the flashlight that I actually have with me when I need it. And that's really the key. The best tool isn't always the one with the highest specifications. The best tool is the one that's with you when you actually need it. So with all that in mind, let's take a look at what Olight sent over to me. This is the new Arc Pro, and naturally the first thing I wanted to know was whether they improved on the flashlight I've been carrying for years, or if they just changed things for the sake of changing them. And right away you'll notice the family resemblance. That flat profile is still here, which is one of the biggest reasons I've always liked this design. It still slips into your pocket easily, it's comfortable to carry all day, and it doesn't roll off a workbench like a traditional round flashlight. One thing I appreciate is they didn't lose sight of what made the original so useful. The UV light is still here for leak detection, the laser pointer is still here for diagnostics, training, and customer communication, and that magnetic charging system is still here, which is super convenient. Everything that made the original practical for everyday shop use is still part of this package. And as I'm comparing the two, what really stands out is that Olight appears to have listened to the people who actually use these lights every day. They didn't take away the features that matter. Instead, they refined the design while keeping the things that made technicians, tradesmen, and everyday users carry these lights in the first place. They even added features like USB charging if you forget your magnetic charger, which is super cool. Now let's put some of these features to work in a real shop environment. First, we'll talk about the UV light. If you've watched my channel for any length of time, you know how often we use the UV light for dye leak detection, whether we're chasing down an engine oil leak, a power steering leak, or an air conditioning leak. UV dye can save a tremendous amount of diagnostic time. The laser pointer here is another feature that I use constantly when explaining repairs to customers. Instead of trying to describe where a component is located, I can just point directly at the part that I'm talking about and they can follow along. And then there's the flashlight itself. Now most of the time that I'm using the flashlight. I'm looking behind an engine, under a dashboard, inside a wheel well, tracing wiring, checking fluid levels, or inspecting components that are hidden in dark areas. A flashlight that stays in your pocket is infinitely more useful than a flashlight sitting on top of a toolbox across the shop. Now let's talk about the other light Olight sent me. This is the Baton 4 Pro. This one is interesting because it's a completely different approach to an everyday carry flashlight. Unlike the Arc Pro, which is built around versatility with the UV light and the laser pointer, the Baton 4 Pro is focused more on being a flashlight first and foremost. Now, after spending some time with it, I started to understand who this light is really for. If your primary goal is simply having a powerful flashlight with an excellent beam performance, the Baton 4 Pro makes a strong case for itself. This round body with a knurling on it gives it a more traditional flashlight feel. It's extremely compact for the amount of light it produces, and the beam pattern does a great job lighting up larger areas. Now, where I think the decision comes down to is how you plan to use it. If you're a technician like me and regularly use UV dye, you frequently point things out to your clients or just appreciate having multiple tools combined into one device, the Arc Pro is probably going to make more sense for you. But if you simply want a compact, powerful, durable flashlight and don't need the extra features, the Baton 4 Pro might actually be the better choice. To me, this isn't really a question of which light is better. They're both great. It's more a question of which light fits the way that you work. I already mentioned that this arc field wasn't actually my first Olight product. My first Olight product was this weapons-mounted light that I still own today. I've added a few other Olight products as well, including this O pen that I keep handy because it combines two things I'm constantly looking for, a flashlight and a pen. It's great for keeping in the glove box of my vehicle. And what I've come to appreciate is the consistency across their product line. The magnetic charging system is simple and reliable. The battery life has been excellent in my experience. And most importantly, these products really get used. And that's one of the reasons I was interested in doing this product review. I'm not introducing you to a brand I just discovered last week. And these are products here I've been using for years and I would recommend to anyone. They're really good. So what's my final verdict? After carrying an arc field for years, I can honestly say the Arc Pro feels like a natural evolution of a flashlight that I already trust. It keeps the features that made me carry the original every day while adding some useful improvements. More powerful beam, more powerful UV light, better battery. As for the Baton 4 Pro, I can definitely see the appeal if you're looking for a more traditional flashlight design and simply want a compact light with excellent output, great performance, and a nice knurled grip. At the end of the day, neither one of these is going to make you a better technician. But good tools, they make your job easier, and that's why I've always been willing to spend money on tools that save time, improve communication, help me get the job done more efficiently. If you guys would like to learn more about either of these products, I'll put links down in the description below. Olight is also running a promotion from June 23rd to June 27th, 2026, and during that sale, the Baton 4 Pro is available for up to 20% off, depending on the model, and the Arc Pro Ultra is available for up to 15% off on select versions. I'll have all the details, links, and current pricing listed in the description. I'll also put QR codes up here on the screen if you'd like to check them out. As always, I appreciate you watching. Let me know down in the comments which flashlight you're carrying every day, whether you found one that works better for you than the Arc Field, or the Arc Pro, or the Baton 4. I'm always interested in see what other people are using. Thanks for watching the video. Make sure to like, subscribe, all those good things, and we'll see you in the next one.